What is the indicator that warns us of a possible depression?
Got to look at the money supply. So when I was doing my research on this was scary. So in 1870, the money supply was -2, which led to the unemployment hitting 14%. In 1921, it was -2%, which led to employment being 11%. The Great Depression, the money supply was -12, unemployment was 25% negative, and the money supply in 2023, we are currently at -2%.
What is the money supply?
How much money is actively floating in the market. So in 2020, they have a bunch of it that they put in. They were acting like Floyd at Girl Collection. We just throw money around and everyone, you get a car, you get a car, you get some money. Now the supply is actually negative. So outside of the inverted yield curve, the 2 and the 10, this is the one that predicts a depression. Am I going to go on record and say that we're going to go into a depression? No. But Dave scared the hell out of me on stage when he talked about the commercial bubble.
Very common.
He said, like Silvergate and this issue with SVB, this is small. I was like, wait, what? So if he's been in the institutional space and then the Buffett indicator is turning over, the inverted yield curve keeps signaling recession, but Biden and Yellen won't announce it yet. Okay. There's a reason why things could be a hell of a lot worse, so please be careful.
Well, the commercial real estate thing is, few people have been talking about that for a while, and even in China, I remember years ago, they had built the whole city when nobody even lived there.
It's a ghost town.
And these are things where housing, people's always gonna need housing, but you see malls. I live in an area where there's a mall and they're closing that. I think they're building an apartment building there because people aren't shopping the same, right? When you look at office space, nobody's working in office anymore, right? So this is something that all signs lead to
failure.
Commercial bubble, right?
Yeah.
And there's only so much apartment buildings that you can build. Like at a certain point, that becomes unsustainable also. So the real estate market is definitely interesting. And shout out to Dave. He gave some great insight on that. But I think that when people are looking to invest in real estate, it's important to understand what's essential.
Yeah.
So housing is essential, right? You can't really go wrong with housing because people are always gonna need to live somewhere unless you're just doing it the wrong way. You're buying a luxury apartment building in Omaha, Nebraska. That might not be something that's really suitable.
Shout out to Omaha.
Shout out to Omaha. But all of these other commercial projects, you just gotta see. Some commercial makes sense, but some commercial, it might not make sense.
Yeah.
It might make sense today, but it might not make sense 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Where housing is always, housing today is still gonna make sense housing 10 years from now.
Yeah.
But like you said, the office space, who knows? Corona 3.7 might come out, right? And then there's nobody ever gonna be working in offices ever again.
Yeah.
That can happen.
Yeah.
So it's just like.
Or people decide that they are going back to work and now it makes sense.
It's risky though, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Where the housing,
Yeah.
residential real estate, in my opinion, residential real estate is, and that's why he said a lot of these big banks and institutions started buying single family homes.
Yeah, Blackstone, BlackRock.
You know, I just feel like residential real estate is a little bit more risky than commercial real estate.
Residential is more risky or commercial?
Commercial is more
commercial,
risky.
okay.
Commercial is more risky than residential.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can, like I said, you see it. You said the mall that we grew up going, right? If you think about the workspace, people aren't going. What happens to the space? Right? They have to, in a sense, get converted. But they're going to get converted at a rate that makes sense to the person who's actually going to purchase it. And that was one of the things he said. It was like, yo, that's a bar. He was like, yo, when there's distress, that's time to invest.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a lot of these commercial real estate companies, right, they're not going to get anything. They're not getting their leases. They're not getting their rents. What they're going to have to force to get it at or sell it at a price or lease it at a price that makes sense for the person who's actually going to acquire it. And so it's going to be a great opportunity for somebody. Yeah. Or if they don't do that, then somebody's going to come in and just say, all right, well, we're going to make this residential anyway.
Yeah, because when I go into the Galleria now, the Galleria is dead, man. Like, it used to be thousands of kids at the little skating rink. Now I go dry over there by Cinnabon and a little Foot Locker down there. Like, the thing that we have to realize, too, is when you keep borrowing and putting more debt on a consumer base, you destroy your buyer's market for everything.
Yeah.
So if you don't take care of the people now, it's going to affect your business later.
My graduates from my school being Forbes, bag drop.
Bag drop.
a mic drop, bag drop.
Bag drop.